I will say this a million times over. Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City is probably the most evil character to ever be written for a television series. That's what a Tyranid sounds like. Yep, that's right.
Whoa.
I said Tyranid. Yep, that's right. I know everything about Warhammer now. Sorry, guys. I've played an hour of a game, and I know everything there is to know.
Oh, wow. So tell me all about it.
Well, the Tyranids are like not necessarily bug people, but they do kind of look like bug people. There
Yeah,
you go.
okay.
So there's my assessment on the Tyranids. And then the Space Marines are a bunch of homosexual Catholics in space.
More or less correct.
Yeah, you could be more wrong for sure.
It is the level, the sexual tension in the game so far is unbelievable.
That's what it's all about.
Well, that's what with you and your boys when you're hanging out, it's always about the sexual tension.
Listen, okay, you've already see. I can tell you're a true Warhammer fan because you're already laying the foundation for the reason we can't have female Space Marines.
Exactly. Well, there is one. There's like a general, and it is weird because I'm always just like, what the fuck is she doing here? Every time I see it's like this, but they do make her kind of old and staunchy, like I think she's like Russian or some shit.
Oh, that's like an Imperial Guard, right?
Probably, yeah.
Like that's like a normal human. It's not like a big super soldier. Yeah, yeah. That can. I mean, clearly we would prefer if it was a boy, but as long as it's not a female, as long as it's not a girl Space Marine,
it's a 4-year-old child who's in command of this
Sorry, are you talking about the female guardsman in the first level?
Yeah, or the girl who's like, get out of here and go take him to the front of the flanks. Hello there. We need you to take over the facility.
The Scottish Russian.
Female
guardsman. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I'm mixing up the Scottish thing with the guy. Like, there's a main guy who's like,
yeah, you've blended
on a new platoon.
The captain is Scottish.
I hate his voice.
I put you on a new platoon. I can't believe they're gonna have to take over the planet.
You do a good Scotsman, dude. I can't do Scots for fuck. That's funny. Yeah, like I hate his voice for a Space Marine. Like in my head, a Space Marine always sounds kind of like a posh twat, like a posh English twat.
They sound like that. I'm like, I think that they should all just do the fucking British thing. That's it. Just keep them British.
Yeah, just the
British.
But
so wait, did you? Well, no, Scottish are they're mice. They're bug people. They're Tyranids. What was I going to say? So you guys have played a little bit of it at least.
Yeah, so
I've only played
female. That was the first moment that took me out of it. Is the walk cycle they did for her? Did you see that at all, Hunter?
Of course, that took you out of it.
The walk cycle,
dude. It's crazy.
I didn't see it.
It is so stupid looking.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to it. I think it was too. My cock was too hard by
the war and tanks.
Yeah, by just like
cool stuff.
By figuring out it wasn't a cutscene and that all the people running towards me, I was like, oh, because in games usually, what happens is they usually have the little, like a big army of people and they run by and they're like, oh, I don't want to have to deal with that. But no, they're just straight up running to your base and you have to start killing armies of Tyranids, which I just thought was fun. The only thing that took me out so far is the guy who's like, they're like, Titus, we can't have anybody know that you were a part of the Death Watch. He's like, okay. And then he's like, the Scottish guy's like, I forgot the other guy's name, but he's just like, Titus here is going to take over your group or whatever. And the guy's like, oh my God, really? he's like the gray haired or like the white haired guy. Okay, I guess.
He does look weird as fuck.
He
And
looks. It
sounds
looks
weird
like a
too.
fucking Baki the Grappler character. He looks like some fucking body horror fucking like anime character. And the worst part,
there's something about his eyes. It's like they started by making him Asian, and they're like, actually,
yeah.
hold on.
well, I feel like the character designer was like, let's make him Chinese, and then all of a sudden the guy's like, no. So they like stopped halfway through with his eyes. They make his eyes like uncanny. But I was like laughing pretty hard because it's just like I don't give a fuck who Titus is or anything, and I kind of like how they're just
How
like
dare
they're just like, well, I mean I like the character. I'm just saying I like more when he's just like, I'll do anything I can to be a good brother or whatever, right? And then they're like, yep, you gotta do it for the Emperor. Yeah, I'm a good brother. But then there's the fucking gray-haired guy again. He's like something's not right about this guy. Do you think this guy's kind of weird? I'm like, why the fuck are you like having? Why are you introducing this shit? Which it's just like it's going to be a power struggle thing, I imagine. But it was just.
Of course, that guy noticed the amount of jewelry in Titus's forehead.
Yeah,
did you see that? He's like, no.
Why?
Yeah, I did.
I did quibble with why. Why does he wear the death? Why does he wear the Death Watch chain if it's supposed to be a secret? As sick as the Death Watch chain is.
Listen, you fucking idiots who don't pay attention to what's actually said. They're not hiding that he's from the Death Watch. They're hiding that he was a part of the fucking Black Hand, whatever the fuck it was called.
Black Hand. What?
I realize the irony of my statement, but yeah, the Death Watch wasn't the part they're hiding. They're hiding that he was part of a black something, like something within the Death Watch that's even worse than being Death Watch.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know the lore or anything, so I probably just went into my ear.
When I was a kid, I always thought Death Watch was gay, but
I thought
you think Death Watch is gay?
Everybody's making it seem like it's supposed to be really
seeing
cool.
it in Spacemarine, I realized this is actually sick.
Death Watch is tight, dude.
Yeah, I just didn't like it when I was a kid. I don't know.
I thought it was kind of
funny. What did you like about it?
I've just never liked like mix-ups. Like I didn't even want to do it with Space King originally. Remember, where each guy is from a different legion. I just like autistically have never liked that aesthetically. But yeah, seeing it in the game for the start, I was like, this is tight.
Shouldn't there be?
Yeah, because you're like,
though?
oh, that
Even
guy's
seeing-
a space wolf.
seeing him
That
with a
guy's a Black
little-
Templar.
A little inconvenient hood over his helmet, even though it doesn't make any sense. Like that's sick.
Well, yeah, it helped me as a fat retard realize that that's the leader. I was like, there he is. That's the leader.
There he is. That's the
He's
guy.
got the shawl.
The only thing I thought was sloppy about that scene is when he's falling. It was it looked really slow, like comedically slow, and then he like his body slowly turns at the last second, and there's like no thud or anything, so he's just like it's like weightless.
It felt very God of War 1 watching him fall.
Yeah. PS2, he's like falling. He's like the gods of Olympus have abandoned me. Whatever, he like steps off the fucking the cliff or whatever.
And so Kratos cast himself off the tallest mountain in all of Greece.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Tyranny, like the beginning attack scene thing when they're all like rushing into the ship was pretty fucking tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still like weird as a Warhammer fan to see Warhammer done like to such a high level.
Well, this, like to be talking about this with Hunter and for it to be a culturally relevant conversation right now, and like for the game to be so
You
popular.
guys act like nobody. I mean, like it's a popular game.
No. Well, yes, it is. That's the point I'm making. But 15, 20 years ago when we were kids, it was for losers and niche.
It still is.
So it's really no.
Okay, make your mind up, Hunter. Pick a lane, dude.
No, I mean, I'm saying, no. It still is. I mean, I could see how it could definitely be like, it's pretty badass, isn't it? It's the same shit of like when people play WoW, I'm still just like, yeah, the game's for fucking losers. It doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it, but you're a fucking loser if you play it.
No.
So I felt I was sitting there and I
different.
had a giant dunce hat on when I was playing Warhammer, and I was like, here I am.
I did like playing just the tutorial and like you seeing the guy. I did realize just how many fucking random ass terms they use that people who aren't familiar with the lore is just gonna fly right over their head.
Well,
I was like, is this impenetrable to people?
It was pretty funny because I was like, I feel like I've heard you guys talk about a lot of this shit in passing. So like to me, I was like, oh, Like I was like, it was kind of like just a little connector. I was like, oh, okay. We're like actually seeing it in practice. I thought that was pretty fun. I just like all of the super unnecessary, like the aesthetic of the entire thing is so sick. Like I like him going up to his armory, and it's just like this. There's just fucking skulls on everything, metal skulls on everything, and then and then like you walk up to a armory area, and there's just like you're in a giant metal spaceship, and there's just candles all over the floor, and it's like, god damn,
hell yeah, dude.
and it looks so good. It's just so impractical, and I love it.
Yeah, that's the allure, man. I posted a tweet about like, so when you start, you've got that cool like helmet with the almost the like stormtrooper Darth Vader grill. You know what I'm talking about? And then you turn into a Primaris, and you get like a different kind of helmet. You following?
Kind of looks like an update, like a new one or something like that.
Yeah, I tweeted like, man, how much it sucks that they give you like the delicious, best, beautiful helmet, and then they take it away from you. And I saw like retards in the comments being like, well, just like a couple retards like, oh, the new armor is so much cooler because it's a more practical. And like some guy rightfully pointed out, like, no, the point of Space Marines and stuff is not to be practical. It's to look fucking like brutal and
it's
retarded
like a war
in
mask.
a cool way.
Yeah,
like you want giant. He was talking about like the jump packs. So the new jump packs and stuff, they're more like cylindrical. They're more sleek, more aerodynamic.
They look like a new version of a car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, an old muscle car is big and bulky, and then like a new car is like kind of slender and round or whatever.
Dude,
smooth.
That's exactly right. It's like an aesthetic upgrade that kind of goes against the grain of what it's supposed to be.
Last time we were talking, you talked about the helmet thing. I didn't. I thought the helmet was fine. To be fair, though, I don't have any historical.
Well, let me be clear. Like the helmet's not a bad design. It's just not as cool as the other one.
It's I just think it's a lot less memorable.
Looks
generic.
like you're able to customize your dude though later in the game. So I'm
they
wondering
don't
if
let you change the helmet though. For now,
yeah. No, I haven't gotten that far, so I have no idea. But I'm also hoping there's more stuff than just Tyranids though. Like it's fun, but it's fun cleaving through them and stuff. But I hope it's not just that one note kind of thing the whole game.
No, it's not. Like you even see them in the trailers and stuff. The enemy switches up at some point.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. All in all, though, very, very stoked on it. I've been playing, like doing like little 30-minute to an hour long burst of it. So I'm not super far in or anything, but it's been a fun.
I think I said it last time, but I'm like the explosion of it makes me pretty hopeful that there's some spillover.
Is it
our cartoon?
Oh yeah, I think there will be. Well, I think it also just gives more context for people, and I think it is going to give more allure to that genre of like sci-fi fantasy type stuff that isn't just Star Wars.
Yeah, for real.
But no, it's fun. I like how physical too the action is in the game. Like I find myself swinging my sword more than shooting my gun or whatever.
The gunplay is really fun though. Like I love the.
Oh, it
feel
is.
of
Yeah.
it.
I just feel like I run out of ammo a lot. I'm just like spraying, praying a lot.
Probably on purpose so that.
Do you like the execution aspect of it, or do you think it's too corny?
Oh no, I'm always a sucker for that shit, dude.
Yeah, I am too.
I love that shit. Like, I can watch the curb stomp from Gears of War like and forever.
Well, I was like playing the game. And I'm like, holy fuck, these guys are gonna love this. It looks, it feels a lot like Gears of War, like especially like the over the shoulder kind of, over the shoulder camera angle and stuff, and the sprinting doesn't look fucking retarded and crouched.
So why do you think it's struck such a chord with people, like even outside of the Warhammer community?
I think it doesn't try to be anything like, I think that it's very simply like, I have no idea about any of the lore, but I immediately am under the impression like they set up a nice thing of like humanity's, going to fucking die, and these guys are our last bastion of saving us, whatever. And then I think it's just badass. Like I think the designs are just good, like the monster's good. I think that they really hooked you really quick with the action and stuff. I think the aesthetic of Warhammer has always been appealing to people. I think sometimes the entryway to the games are so but don't match that. It's almost like looking at a Molly was it Molly Hatchet or Molly Hatchet? What the fuck is that band called?
I don't know, but I feel like I'm having a stroke.
What the fuck is it? Hold on a second. They have that song Bounty Hunter. It's really good.
Working with disaster.
Molly Hatchet. Yeah, if you look at a Molly Hatchet album cover, it's like a badass Frank Frazetta like guy, like faceless black specter on a horse, and you're like, holy shit, this is gonna be sick. And then it's like Leonard Skinner. So that to me, I'm like, I would always see these like badass, like, eat it, like guy fucking shooting an alien in the face on the cover of a game, and you look at the gameplay and it's like an RTS kind of thing, or like it just didn't match that vibe. I think it's finally matching the very accessible, goofy kind of fun that I think Warhammer is. And I think it's like not trying to shy away from like being compared to like, the Doom games, even though the Doom games definitely are inspired by it. But I just think like, since they're so late to the party, you're going to get those comparisons. And even just like fun stuff of like executing stuff, like fun, simple ways of making it feel over the top and like crazy and making yourself feel big and like powerful in this game. I really don't think that they've done that in any of the other games that I've seen, at least. So I could be wrong, but.
Well, I think also there needed to be a certain level of like critical mass to the popularity of the franchise in general for something like this to penetrate. Because all of this is true of the original Space Marine. Like, it made you feel just as big and just as powerful, and it matched the art just as well, but there wasn't enough critical mass even then of the hobby for it to really like spread potently. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was still just too niche of a community to penetrate like the more broad audience, whereas this one, Warhammer's done so much work at like making their game bigger that it's now finally kind of had that critical mass it needed.
Did they ever go through any of those lulls of it almost being like destroyed, I guess? Like the actual brand of Gamers Workshop did?
100%.
Really?
There was a point where it was like, oh yeah, dude, there was a point where it was looking pretty fucking dire. And then they got this, it was kind of, they got this new CEO in who basically like turned the whole fucking thing around and utilized social media properly, like just did everything right, whereas the guy before just like fucked it. And now I always like to trot this out because I think it's funny. Like, Games Workshop, the makers of Warhammer or whatever, is now worth more than like the UK fishing industry. Like, the entire country of the United Kingdom fishing industry is worth less than Games Workshop. So yeah, I hope no American no American company buys Games Workshop, because that'd be sad.
That is a fear. Disney coming in and buying it or some shit.
That's the thing. Like, that's the scary thing about all of this critical appeal to like a very broad audience. And you see it already with some of the choices, like redesigning the Space Marines and stuff like this. Like, there is going to be the desire to make it broader and broader and broader until you lose the like flavor that made it so fucking cool in the first place.
Yeah.
It's interesting too.
Less and less its own thing.
It's it's primed to be something like huge. It seems like they just always stumble. Because if I remember right too, like Blizzard with like World of Warcraft, wasn't that supposed to be a like Warhammer game? And then they broke out and they're like, fuck this, we're just gonna do it ourselves or something.
Yeah, I think that's the rumor. And then StarCraft is just Warhammer, man. Fucking Zerg are Tyranids. You know, the Space Marines are Space Marines, like, yeah. And the
totally.
what's the other one in StarCraft? Like the
Protoss.
The fucking elf people. That's just Eldar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Blizzard was just much better about putting out like a product that resonated with people at the time. And also I think just their branding and like how they navigated waters was just really good.
Hell, it's about time. Yeah, dude. I never liked those games because they stole my favorite franchise's lunch.
I never liked StarCraft because I remember I watched my friend play it, who I thought was really good at games. I just watched him like lose perpetually to Koreans. And I was like, why the fuck would I want to play a game where Koreans are just going to like destroy me?
Why would I want to play a game where Koreans can compete? No, thank you.
Well, then you find out that well, Koreans are going to dominate every video game, so you might as well
Yeah.
just pick one and be bad at one.
Luckily, their entire population is dying, so we won't have to deal with that for much longer.
I thought that was Japan.
Oh, it is, but
Yes.
Korea's like even worse.
It's all of them. China too.
All right, guys, it's the best time of the year. Football's back! We're talking NFL Sundays, college football Saturdays, and that glorious grind of fantasy football lineups. This is where your inner GM comes alive, setting the perfect fantasy roster, screaming at your TV, and making last-minute waiver moves that either make you a hero or the guy everyone ridicules in the group chat. But listen, while you're over here making sure your fantasy team is dialed in, don't let your personal grooming become the guy that gets left on the bench. Let's be honest, nobody wants to fumble their grooming routine. That's where MANSCAPE's Performance Package 5.0 Ultra comes in, acting as your all-in-one grooming playbook. From keeping things sharp down there below with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, to taking care of those rogue nose and ear hairs with the Weed Whacker 2.0. This is the lineup that will keep you looking and feeling like a champ, on and off the field. Join the over 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for kickoff by heading over to manscaped.com. Use the code CREAM for 20% off plus free shipping. Trust me, you'll be drafting the real MVP of grooming this season. All-in-one grooming kit. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is your complete grooming playbook. It handles everything, from below the waist maintenance to taking care of those nose and ears hairs. Consider it your winning lineup, helping you feel clean, confident, and ready to dominate your fantasy league. Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, groin and body hair trimmer. This is the franchise player of your grooming roster. With precise trimming capabilities, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is built for performance. It's reliable, efficient, and gets the job done without fumbling. Whether it's for date night, a weekend tailgate, or just everyday grooming. This is the tool you want on your squad. Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and hair nose trimmer. No one wants a surprise nose or ear hair making a guest appearance on game day. The Weed Whacker 2.0 handles these details like a pro, keeping you neat and ready to go. No missed tackles in your grooming game. Ball aftercare. Post-shave, give your most valuable players some TLC. The Crop Soother Ball Aftershave Lotion and Crop Preserve Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant makes you stay fresh and comfortable through every quarter of your day. Free gifts included! The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra doesn't stop at grooming essentials. It also comes with 2 free gifts. The Boxers 2.0 Midnight Bravo and the Shed 2.0 Toiletry Bag. Premium gear to ensure you're always ready for the action, whether at home or on the road. Get 20% off plus free shipping using code CREAM at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping using code CREAM at manscaped.com. Stay on top of your grooming game and be ready for anything the season throws your way.
China? I thought they thought they were multiplying like rabbits.
Nah, they overcorrected for that like 30 years ago, and now they're fucked.
Damn. Well, thank God we have low income, toothless hillbillies here having 7 children when they have no job here in America.
Well, it's better than like
Yep.
having a population bomb, so
Well,
I don't know.
it'd be so
Go
funny. to
hillbillies go.
It'd be so funny to like if like all the nations came together, right? There was world peace, and then they're like, well, we have too many people here in America, so we're going to ship them. We're going to like fill up the other countries with people, so they have they can start curving that issue they have of no population. And they just took like all of the toothless rednecks here in America, and they put them in China and like Korea.
Honestly, it would be like Hispanics because they're the people who are making up the population shortfall in the States. It's not even really the hillbillies. It's like Hispanic that are propping the population up.
Sure, dude. Dude, who the fuck are you to speak on my country's behalf? First off,
Okay, it's my
right, Don?
Plus, I don't want to. There'd be nobody in West Virginia anymore. I'd be fucked. Someone
More room for you.
Yeah. This
More-
state literally has a population of like 1.5 million.
That's quite a bit. That's almost
It's-
one street block in New York.
Yeah.
Think about that. How nice. The whole state, one block in New York. Very fun.
That's crazy.
1.7 million.
That's just like the size of a Texas city.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's the size of a Texas fucking like neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like a suburb. It's unbelievable.
It's for true.
Give me a
I do,
scenario.
yeah. Okay.
Give us an improv scenario. We haven't done improv in a while.
Oh, do we have to?
Yep.
You mean we haven't embarrassed ourselves in a while?
No. Nice improv session for listeners here at home or on their drive. I like to think that there's a guy. Let me give you the situation of what I think our viewers are like here. There's a guy recently divorced, driving to his car rental job that he is like in his head. He's like, I'm halfway out the door, right? He's been looking for a long time. Nothing yet, but he's optimistic. And he turns this on because he's just like, you know what? Today's a new day. And this is the guy we have to entertain. We need to keep that optimism alive. We need to keep the fire of life in his heart burning.
Okay, would now be a bad time to say that this is the last public Cream Crew episode, or the second to last public Cream Crew episode ever.
I forgot about that. The guy's like, I like to think the guy was like, wait, what? Oh, shit.
So is this the second to last or last? I don't remember.
Well, as
it's the
everyone
last.
knows, we have like 6 weeks left of this show, and with productions and all kinds of stuff ramping up, which I love the comments when we talk about this. Well, it's mostly me. I hope you guys know that that people are very upset with me.
What did you do?
Well, they're like, oh, Hunter can't get together with his friends to record 2 hours a week. What, he must be so busy. And
Yeah, they're right.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Well, even if that's the case, even if it wasn't the case, and I just don't want to fucking do it anymore, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to tell you. And here's the thing, bitch, I am busy, and every waking fucking moment I have is you know, it's taxable, right?
That's it. That's going to ingratiate you to the people.
I don't give a fuck. I'm doing my own thing. And you know what? It is what it is, dude. And guess what, bitches? I get to still be friends with these cocksuckers whenever we're done with this. So if anything, you should be mad that guess what? The person you hate the most gets to be friends with them. So fuck you.
Okay.
Huh?
Yep.
You like that?
Yep. I like that.
There you go.
So, you didn't finish your point though.
Oh.
Yeah, to finish out.
I
the
got so
point.
heated and
The
lost, and then
announcement.
I was enamored by my luscious long hair. The show is we planned on being done with this in November, I believe, but with the stuff going on of just various things of it just is, you know, I don't know, just don't want to do 2 episodes. We're just going to move it to the Patreon side for people who have been supporting the channel on the Patreon, and just finishing it out there. And we'll leave all these episodes up though, so you can listen. Right? Are we leaving these up, or were we done?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I figured. So, to
Yeah.
clarify.
Yeah, we're not taking the channel down yet. When
Yeah.
you know, someday when we have kids and they're conscious, then we'll take the channels down.
Dad, people keep sending me these crazy links.
He looks like you.
Why did you take those dogs? They weren't yours.
Okay.
All
right.
Okay, that's what you say to
And
your kid. Okay, all right. Enough internet for today.
That's what we're talking about.
Don, I am semi-concerned that when you are a father, you will become a man of the cloth, and like bit by bit, you'll want to disavow
telling you, dude,
everything
it's
you've
good.
ever made.
It
Where
is.
you're
I
like,
will.
oh, I don't know about
I don't
all
think
this.
I don't think he'll disavow it, but I do. I can. I think it's impossible to not have that dad change happen.
The Cream Crew
I
channel
don't buy it.
will be private. You will not be able to watch.
What is it
anymore.
about the Cream Crew? Like, what about our cartoons? Because that's going to be the next domino to fall.
That's art,
You're going to
dude.
be like,
That's art.
why don't we
That's
make
art.
cartoons for kids?
No,
That's the
'cause
next thing
it's-
I'm going to hear.
That'd be so
no,
funny.
'cause It's not.
Tom,
it's
can I pitch you
not-
something? He's a squirrel. He's a medieval squirrel. He's learning the values of becoming a man, becoming a boy, or something like that. That'd be. You guys making a kids cartoon would actually be kind of funny. I think it would be. I think it would be very good.
Oh, boy.
Cool. Yeah, we'll see.
What were you saying, Don? You were denying that it's going to happen.
I think when you become a father, you're supposed to be like a paragon. I don't want a library of me making an ass of myself and looking like a fool for 2 hours a week
Nah.
for weeks
What do
and
you mean?
weeks and years
That-
and years.
It's like the kid can't see you're human. Isn't
No.
that truly like the
No.
paragon?
Not until they're older.
I've been watching Evangelion, and I want to be like that dad. You guys
That's
ever
pretty
see that
sweet.
show?
Yeah.
I want to be like that dad where he's just like totally emotionally unavailable for his son. I live very close to my child and I don't talk to him, to where it sends him into a frenzy. I'm even gonna name my what's his name again? What's the main kid's name?
Shinji.
Shinji. That's what I'm gonna name. It's just gonna be Shinji.
I feel like that could have
Hancock
just been
is
like a
his name.
racist name you plucked out of thin air.
Ching.
Yeah, it's, I don't even spell it right on the document, so it's just Chinji instead of Shinji. All right, his name is Chinji Benjamin Franklin Hancock.
Nice.
Sick.
That's what, that's what
You would look really cool in those glasses too.
a fat version of Shinji's dad in Evangelion. Every time he sees me, I'm just doing like the fingers like put together and like the shine in my glasses.
Yeah.
I'm getting I'm at like a high V, getting my like that like arm pump thing that checks your vitals or whatever by the pharmacy. Dad, get out of here, Shinji. I'm busy. You killed your mom.
And you can't get pussy. Good job, Shinji.
You know, in movies, when a woman dies during birth, usually the dad is resentful, right? Towards the baby for killing his wife.
Oh, dude, I would be like, thank you.
Well, I was saying,
baby.
I don't, what I wish would happen is instead of my wife dying, she just leaves. She's just like, I'm not doing this. And then I just tell him he's dead. I tell my son that she's dead. And then I get to have that kind of relationship. I get to have that with him.
Yeah,
you
like,
killed her.
mummy's looking down at you. You can use it as a little fucking bludgeon too. Like, do you think mummy would be happy that you're doing that right now? You think that? You think she'd be proud of what you're up to right now?
Do you think mom's smiling in heaven when she watches you do that? First off, what are we talking about this kid doing?
So it kind of sounds like he's jerking off.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, it's perfectly natural, but do you think your mommy likes looking at you down from heaven doing that? That would probably those conversations have definitely happened, and that has definitely fucked with some guys' entire life.
Inability to have like sex because of it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's this great Sex and the City episode where Miranda's fucking that one guy where every time he has sex, he has to immediately get up and take a shower because he's unclean. He's like the religious guy. And there's that scene where she like fucks him and they're like all sweaty too. They couldn't make it look any more where I'm like, God damn, let the guy shower. Like it is fucked. And she like holds him down and like makes him sit there. She's like, let's just cuddle for a second. He's like, oh. He starts getting all flustered and shit, and until he just like wiggles out and like dead sprints to the shower and has to clean himself.
I'm trying to decide where I come down on it. I get her side, but my inherent I want to side with the dude. I'm like, let the man fucking shower. But
I think
I feel like it's much because I fucking hate Miranda more than anything.
Well, if a woman did that with me, I would just be like, well, of course. You just rolled around in a pig pen for a while. Why would you probably want to feel clean after this? You know what I mean?
But I get it, they
rolling
want
in
to
the hay
cuddle
with a barn animal.
Well, certainly with a fucking pig when it comes to Miranda.
A dog. A barn owl.
Just flapping and fluttering. Fucking screeching.
Yeah. But no, I always thought she was a bit of like overreacting a bit. I was always just like, who gives a fuck?
Isn't it? Like, is this man's worst quality? He wants to, and then she ends up with that what's his name?
Steve.
Like, come on, dude.
Miranda.
Like, that's better.
She's so beautiful. She's so charming.
Everyone's like,
You're so beautiful, Miranda.
Are you still talking
I'm
about?
gonna go play basketball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open a bar.
And it's like,
doesn't she like shit on every dream he's ever had?
Well, the thing too is, his dreams are very reasonable. He's like, yeah, I got a couple buddies. I think we're gonna start a bar. I've been a bartender for a long time. She's like, Steve, really? think about your future. He's like, oh, well, I thought it's a pretty good spot. We get a lot of foot traffic and stuff. He's like, oh God. Or he doesn't even have dreams. He's just like, you want to go get spaghetti tonight? She's like, Steve, I'm busy. No. Okay. I was going to take the dog for a walk in the park. Do you want to come? She's like, Steve, I'm busy.
I swear to God, there's an episode where he just wants her to come, like, watch him shoot some hoops. It's like the whole moral of the episode is she won't fucking do it.
I know exactly which one. It's because he was selected to shoot the half-court shot at the Knicks game. And he's like very optimistic. He's like, oh, I've been practicing and like I'm doing a really good job. She's just like, give it up, Steve. You can't do it.
Never gonna fucking happen, Steve.
He's just like,
I just kind of want some support.
Well, yeah, he's like, you want to come down and like hang out like while I do this? Because he's obviously very excited about it. And she's like, just give up on your dreams. It's not gonna happen. And then at the end, they try to make it like, oh, but Miranda came around because she went there once. And we see him shoot one hoop, and then there's voiceover of Carrie being like, Steve didn't make the shot. And you're like, wow, I guess it was a happy ending for everybody.
He's so grateful for like a pittance of her attention too.
Oh God, he's a battered dog. He's a battered dog, a mutt.
Comes in just quivering and shaking. Like,
the whole thing too is nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? Like Miranda's not perfect. Steve's not perfect. I feel like he is one of the characters though that has done quite a bit to just be like a pretty good partner.
Only for her to get bent over a table and like fucked in the ass by that lesbian super soldier and just like that. Like, all of Steve is easily the least like reprehensible of any of the men in that series, and he just gets fucked for it.
He's probably the best guy in the entire show, and he gets made. They basically fucking dress him up in clown paint and fucking throw whipped cream pies in his face.
You're so right with the battered dog thing too. They even have him going deaf. They even have him going deaf, and just like that.
He's the fucking dog that you've been like, stop, get out of that for fucking 14 years, and now he's like blind, deaf, and dumb, and you refuse to put him down. It's like just let this dog run through heaven's fields, but instead, like, let's just keep this dog that we hate alive. That's what it feels like. I feel too guilty just to put the bolt in his head. So I'd rather him just walk around aimlessly until he just keels over and dies on his own.
Oh, fuck. Poor Steve, bro.
I hate how, like, they like make everybody have also, like, all the men in Just Like That. They make all of them have, like, attributes as if they're like 80 to 90 years old, when it's like they're just in their 50s. They're like in their mid 50s. Well, I'm like, it's not, I mean, it's old. It's like, you're definitely old, but you're not, it's not fucking egregiously old. And they're all like, what?
Hello?
It's because they've got to somehow make Carrie look young, which is like the most impossible thing in the universe.
Impossible. I don't know how Sarah Jessica Parker could possibly look any more old than she does right now. Out of all the characters in the show, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Hi, I'm on the radio. I'm on a podcast.
It's insane how they're trying to keep her like going. Just in terms of like aspirations and like her whole shtick, like,
oh, it's Gucci. I'm gonna go shopping.
You're just like, okay, so I'm gonna watch like a 70-year-old woman go and like buy fucking like dresses, and like twirl around like she's a hot 30-year-old.
I haven't watched it all. They have her like fucking dudes and stuff, the sex scenes.
Oh, dude, like yes, obviously she's trying to get fucking dick down.
Wait, yeah, Just like That? No, they don't.
Yeah, and then Just Like That.
Even in Sex and the City, whenever they did, they always made it tasteful. I always thought it was funny. They always made Carrie, who is probably, I mean, like, as I've said, I will say this a million times over. Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City is probably the most evil character to ever be written for a television series. Even watching Sopranos, I'm like, even Tony has more of a heart than fucking like Carrie Bradshaw. Whenever Carrie fucks, it's always like weird, quick montages and like you never see anything. And, you know, it's always just like, oh, it's romantic. And then you just show like Steve and Miranda sweaty as shit. And he's like holding onto her ape tit, just like, oh, fuck. Or Charlotte's like fucking up this bald headed, like obese Jewish guy. And she's like, can I get this fucking new dishware for my set? And he's like, oh God, yeah. Yeah. And then they show Samantha doing fucking everything under the sun. But God forbid you make it realistic for Carrie too. God forbid. Every time it's Carrie, oh, it's a fantasy. Oh, every time.
That's because Carrie's the like self
yeah,
insert
it's
for the
her
female
point of view.
viewer.
It's through her eyes, which is the funniest thing. She's like, it was awesome and it was romantic. And she's like, yeah, Charlotte crawled on top of that Jewish goblin again. Had sex with him for pieces of kitchen attire. Also, it's like, why the fuck are you writing this in a diary? Why, like, are you gonna reread this and be like, oh yeah, that's right. Charlotte was fucking that Jewish guy for fucking kitchen plates and sporks for her fucking summer party. What the fuck, Carrie? It's so odd.
Samantha's getting dicked down again, that fucking whore.
Like, exactly. Well, Samantha's having sex with another stranger, dumb bitch. God, I love her. I love her though. She's such a whore. It's like, okay, cool. All right. There's very few times, and usually too, if it's something with Carrie that is like bad, usually it's just she's always too smart to ever indulge in it. Everybody else will do whatever, right? Miranda shoves her fingers up guys' asses and stuff, or she fucks people in public because the guy, you know, she's just like, yeah, I'm in the moment with this guy. Carrie, she's dating that politician or whatever, and he's like, hey, can I piss on your chest? And she's like, what? I'm like, why didn't we get a fucking Carrie episode where she's just like taking full steams of piss on the chest? You know what I mean? To impress her fucking comptroller fucking like boyfriend. It makes me livid. And then the new show too. Yeah, they have everybody else have sex scenes except once again Carrie has sex with like this Persian guy who's like 30 years younger than her. She's like 70 and he's like 48. And he's like finger fucking her in an elevator. Or they just think they just make out at the end of the season. That's it. But, you know.
This is all shortly after her hip breaks and she pisses herself in bed because Miranda's getting like deep dicked.
I was going to say, they also made that like comically innocent when I wish it would have been kind of brutal. She was like, oh, fuck! I like fell on the ground. And she just like, there's just piss all over the floor. She's like trying to stand up and she's like slipping in the piss and like keeps falling down.
Like, Miranda! Miranda, where are you, Miranda?
And Miranda's like, And also, I think if you're gonna go so far to have the fucking G.I. Joe super soldier, like to quote Tomper before, trigger fuck Miranda, you should. I always thought there should have been a scene where Steve walks in.
Miranda? Oh my God! Oh God!
She's like, her legs are like full. She's like upside down, and her legs are like split like a giant Y shape. She's like, get out of here, Steve. She's got like
I got us donuts, Miranda. I thought we could have donuts together.
The super soldier has her entire forearm inside of Miranda's pussy. She's like
working her like a puppet.
She's like, who are you? And then she goes over and punches Steve with Miranda's body like fist through the fucking door.
She's like, yeah, that's right, take that.
Yeah, exactly.
Miranda, you're breaking my heart.
It's like every bone in his body is broken. He's just shattered on the floor. Her kids are also. What did you think of the whole thing of in Just Like That Steve and Miranda didn't give a fuck that their kid was just like fucking this chick like super loud in their house, and they're just like, hey, to be young again. I'm like, is that a human fucking response to that?
None of these people are human, I think is the starting point. I mean, good lord. The only human
Miranda,
left the show.
are we gonna go back to the sewers where we belong?
I told you I don't want to live amongst the rats, Steve.
All right,
I
fine.
told you, Steve. I'm trying to be a lawyer. I don't want to be with the rats anymore, Steve. I've come accustomed to the human food and way of life.
Dude, watching Miranda go back to college and have like, she's like basically like, yeah, I made millions of dollars as a lawyer, but now I want to be a like a lawyer for political advocates
A
or
lawyer
something,
for retards.
or something like that. And she's just like going into the she like goes into her first class and her like teacher's black. She's like, oh, the teacher sits there, and all the like kids are like, that is the teacher. And she's like, oh my God, you're black. I'm sorry. Oh God. Oh, I feel so
Immediately takes a knee.
yeah, immediately takes a knee and she's like, hey, can we get dinner? It felt so weird why she was so like adamantly, I don't know. I all the characters are just so fucking odd, man. Like so adamantly, like the teacher was just a dick for no reason. But then after a while, the teacher becomes like a mainstay character that we're supposed to care about. Like her and her husband aren't fucking, and he's like a fucking like a musician on the road. She's like, when are you gonna come home? I'm ovulating. He's like, I don't know.
I'm trying to make a living for us with my one-man touring band, sweetheart.
My one man with my puppet show. My puppet show that I'm touring across the country. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was really funny though, like listening to even like a writer, like a rich writer, try to be like, what would be some of the struggles they would face today? And it's just like Miranda's racist.
Hey,
Carrie
hey,
doesn't
minority.
Carrie doesn't
Hey!
understand Charlotte's trans son. And like all these like things where it's like, and then it's like all the perspective of these people, these New York elite, I mean millionaires, like hundreds of dollars of money, and they're all just like,
Hundreds of
she's
dollars
not
of
going
money.
to wear her Louis Vuitton dress. It's like, my name's Mike now, Mom. Or whatever. She's like,
I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Then Carrie's like, what do you mean?
Oh, that's right. It's a girl who wants to be a boy, is that it?
yeah.
Yeah. Carrie's like,
That
For,
is
like,
the
the
actual
whole
script.
episode.
That is the actual script of the episode. But the whole thing too is they're like relaying these problems and trying to be human, but they're like in Rolls Royce like limousines going to PR meetings and stuff, and they're just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do about Jessica, I mean Mike, not wearing her dress to the her sister's piano recital. What are we gonna do? It's like, oh God, it's the end of the world, isn't it, Charlotte? It's the end of the fucking world. And then Carrie just doesn't give a shit.
What? Charlotte, I'm trying to understand how this relates to me.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling to connect the dots, so maybe you could help me out.
No shit, though.
So when do I get involved? When do I get my pay?
No one's paying you, Carrie. Big died first episode, and you probably have hundreds of millions of dollars.
Who's
Also,
big?
that's another funny thing. So Big dies, right? Big dies.
Oh, no.
Big dies first episode, and then the second episode or something, a conflict is that he left like $50,000 to his first wife, who also he cheated on with Carrie. And she's like,
Well, why did he leave her that money?
it's like, dude, you have hundreds of millions of dollars. You can't just like be, oh yeah, it's his first wife. So she like goes and talks to her, and she's just like,
Why did he do that?
she's like, oh, I don't know,
Why
probably
do
because
you get money?
probably because you ruined my fucking life. She's like,
What? No, that can't be.
No, you were fine with it. I remember.
yeah, exactly. No shit. Yeah, that, and also such another bad episode as well. Fucking Carrie is like, just got her fucking asshole absolutely pounded by Big, and she's just like hanging around the apartment. And then Big's wife comes in and she runs off. Do you remember this, Tom? She like runs off, and then Natasha follows her, and she's just like, Carrie, I see you. And then Natasha trips on the steps and like
No, you
busts her fucking
don't.
teeth out her mouth.
And Carrie's just like, oh God, I feel so bad.
She's like, here, let me take you to the hospital. We're friends now, right? She's like, no, I hope you rot in hell, you evil bitch. She's like, oh, God, I can't stand people not liking me.
I gave you a lift. I gave you a lift.
She's just like queefing and like farting out like just little bits of cum from her asshole from Big earlier.
She's just like, I hope we can put this behind us.
She's just like, this smells so bad, Carrie. Open a window.
Dad, let me finish my dot.
I just want you to forgive me.
Dude, imagine being so fucking down bad and in life as an actress that when they come back to you to reprise that role, you're like, yes, immediately, jumping at it with open arms.
Well, you know, a payday's a payday is all I gotta say.
Hey, we want you to come back to be humiliated again in this series from 20 years ago. How do you feel about that?
Okay. I guess. Yeah, this is like Sarah Jessica Parker going out to that actress, asking her that, hey, can I make you look like a fool again on TV? Well, yeah, it's just acting. Sure it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure, it's just acting. Yeah, okay.
You ugly bitch. You whore. Why are you taking food out of Carrie's mouth? I gotta eat.
This is Sarah Jessica Parker at the food table offset. It's like where people get cold cuts and cheeses and shit. And she's going up to the actress. It's Natasha.
Give me my $50,000 back right now.
She's like, hey, Sarah, what can I help you, Sarah Jessica Parker? Hey, Sarah.
Who's Sarah? I'm Carrie. Don't even look at me. Fuck my husband.
She's like, are you serious? Put those Ritz crackers down. Those aren't for you. Put the Ritz crackers and the cosmic brownies back in the basket.
Oh yeah, Sarah's such a method actress. This is just how she gets into roles.
She just needs to be this way to make sure she captures Carrie's essence. She just lost her husband. Cut her some slack. She's not thinking straight. Her husband just passed away on a Peloton
Her husband died
So
during a
please.
Peloton brand.
He was
Brad Pitt.
horny smoking cigars. He was horny getting hard smoking cigars riding a Peloton. And he had a heart attack.
Oh God, my soul! How will it ever end?
The banks! Do I have access to the banks?
Wake up, Big! Wake up!
She's like taking his iPhone and using Face ID to like switch over all the passwords and shit. Wells Fargo! What was your Wells Fargo password? Ah, shit! She's like dead spreading through the apartment. She takes like a fucking meat cleaver and like cuts off his thumb so she can unlock his phone. At any whim, she puts it on a keychain.
Fuck. Why is Sex in the City of all things the only surefire topic this podcast can produce a healthy, lively conversation? Oh my god!
It's just
It's
Sex
not
in the
the
City.
only one.
It's just Sex in the City, and it's just like gay sex and Lord of the Rings. That's the only. Those are the only things that really are instant.
And Dragon Ball Z, dude.
And Dragon Ball Z. That is true.
And you make it gay, or
Yeah,
talk
you
about
have
Sex
to, but
and the
that's
City.
just gay sex with extra steps.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh god damn. And I will die on the hill that Sex in the City is a good show.
It's
Love
a great
Sex
show.
in the City. Love it.
Take me back.
It is impossible, though. It is impossible to watch that show and not agree that Carrie Bradshaw is. She is the most sadistic, evil character I've ever seen on a television show. It's insane.
They didn't even make her believably hot enough to be pulling the shit she does.
Well, what's funny is if you think about everything she does in the show is through her lens. We are getting every bit of information is from her. So even like the stuff where she's just like, she does terrible shit, she justified that in her head to make sure and write that down of like, I'm not crazy.
You're crazy.
I'm fine. I'm a good person.
I'm just surprised she even like tries to maintain the veneer of a moral compass or like any kind of
Well, it's all going in the newspaper.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
I don't
the
want
whole-
people to
it's her
dislike
column.
me.
It's literally
As she
she's
publishes her fucking
vetting
slander.
like secrets and like personal stories in a fucking
Hey, that
column.
politician? Yeah, he likes to piss on girls.
Well, yeah, you even see him reading it the next day in that episode. You're
It
like,
probably never even fucking happened. He probably never even asked her that.
yeah, he's
She's
like,
just
I
such
met
a
her
crazy
once at a
fucking
charity
bitch.
event.
Yeah.
I met her once at a charity event.
I
She's
could
just
see
like,
from the
So
twinkle in his
basic.
eye that he wanted to piss all over me. I could tell.
Yeah, he'd like to rub the head of his cock on my pussy lips, but yeah, he claimed my ass after a while.
he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
She's like, sex in the city, deal with it.
I'm a big fucking deal in this town.
He's like, isn't
Yeah,
your
no
like
shit.
column in the back of like a fucking newsagent magazine?
Well, like she's like, it's a New York Times bestseller. I'm like, so is every fucking book ever sold ever. And when's the last time you've seen a book cover that doesn't have New York Times bestseller? I'm like, wow, what a prestigious list filled with millions of fucking books. Congratulations, Carrie.
She's like, don't I look hot on the cover?
No.
No, you look like a solid 5. I mean,
Oh,
Yeah,
but
but-
all these men want me. There's this big shot guy called Mr. Big, and he's got a penthouse I go to. And then I like to take a little dip to the countryside to see my Aiden.
is that his fucking name?
Yeah, Aiden.
Aiden.
Yeah,
in
I
the countryside.
I'm emotionally manipulated him to where he's basically, he's like my dog.
I get to,
I put him on a leash and walk him around.
She literally does just like have like 3 or 4 guys on the go at one time at every
Well,
point.
It's funny too if you look at the show as Carrie manipulating the truth. It almost seems like Big is actually an 89-year-old oil tycoon that she just like she just fucks this old guy and she's just like,
He's so mature.
and it's like, yeah, no, he's like, it's like that. Who the fuck was that chick who married that old dude too? Like Anna. You know what I'm talking about? She was like a Playboy model, and she like there's like the very infamous photo of her and with this super old dude. And I mean, I'm obviously just for his money, but it reminds me of that. But she's like,
Nah, he was sexy and suave.
and it's like, no, instead he's like just this brittle, like fat, loose-skinned old man who's just like, spread your asshole open and let me spit on it.
It's like, oh, Big,
Okay.
you're so romantic.
I don't think we need to go too into the details of this sex scene. It was really hot and very sexy.
Yeah, exactly. It was so romantic. Anyways, Miranda ended up having sex with the golden retriever in Central Park. Yeah, Miranda was getting finger fucked by this hot dog vendor for 2 weeks, and she cried about not being able to date him. There's my column for today. It's like, wow, what a fun column to write, Carrie. I'm sure your friends love this.
Yeah, is there ever an episode where her friends are like reading the slanderous lies she's printing about them?
She would never put that revelation in her version of her mind of people like of her friends like crying in their apartment, like punching holes in their walls and shit, just like totally upset that they're bound to this parasite of a friend. And then you know that they call her, they like bring, they get her call, and then Carrie's like,
What'd you think of the article?
and they just have to be like, oh, it was fine, and like wiping their tears. But she doesn't, like, they're trying to like obviously bait her to be like, she's like, what's wrong? But instead Carrie's just like,
Cool, we're going out for Cosmopolitans later. I'll meet you at the new club.
or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
Carrie, I kind of
old
didn't
Carrie.
appreciate it when you called me like a fire-headed, pale-breasted ape. But sure,
Did
I'll
you
still
see
go get
that new
Cosmos with
spot
you.
opened up on 48th Street?
It's like just completely ignoring what she's saying.
Yeah, you can't just divert. You can't just keep diverting away from what I'm trying to talk about, Carrie.
Yeah, apparently they have great wontons there.
That doesn't even make. Why are there wontons at an upscale bar in New York?
Ah, excuse me.
Oh God!
Can you imagine hearing that on the other line of a phone? Like, and then,
Oh, God.
pardon me. It's like, who the fuck are you talking to? You hear the person smell their own fucking rancid cabbage, and they're just like,
Oh, God. Excuse me. Jesus. Oh, God. Hold on, Miranda. I need to open a phone. I need to open a window.
you hear set the phone down, and she's like, and she's like,
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
even people in the street are like, good God. Holy shit.
She's like, I
Man,
know.
what
That was
did
for
you
me.
put inside me? God.
Yeah, those wontons in that new club.
It's that sweet and sour chicken we got last night at that sick new hip club.
A 75-year-old woman.
Yeah, no shit. 75-year-old woman discovers Panda Express for the first time.
She's like, I've never had these before.
Like eating orange chicken just by herself.
She's like, this place is off the charts.
She just gets up and starts dancing. There's no music on, but in her head, she's like listening to music.
Ah, fuck. I hope someday someone makes a supercut of all the Sex and the City moments in this
What's
fucking
insane-
Mistaken podcast.
What's insane, and I think we can safely say this, is that if no one's heard the show before, but they've actively seen Sex and the City, they would agree 100%.
I don't think any lies were spoken.
I don't think, really, we exaggerated some parts, but I wouldn't even say to a comical degree. I would say it was just barely exaggerated in terms of events. I would like to say that it was, a bit frivolous of how we painted Carrie, but really not that far off.
Yummy. Yummy.
All right. Well,
Well, is this the second to last public episode or the last? I mean,
I think
I
it's
feel
the
like
last. Yeah, it's the last.
this is the last.
Yeah.
Wow, we're telling them
Oh,
it's the
sorry.
last and making it the last at the same time.
It's not the last episode of Cream Crew. It's just the last public episode because we only have time for one episode a week right now, it seems, and we don't want to keep screwing over the patrons, so it's got to be patron episodes.
It does sort of feel like we're just trying to steal the last vestiges of money.
Yeah, this is the last one, and if you kind of want to hear the final four, you got to sign up to Patreon.com
Not for like
/Cream Crew.
6. I think there's like 6.
Actually, no, you're right. It's not a money grab, guys.
Also, there's the whole backlog of how many patron episodes now?
We can't be promoting them. We can't be
There's a
promoting
lot,
the patron.
dude.
We can't
I don't
be
think he's promoting the
patron
Patreon.
right now.
I think it's more. I thought it was more so just saying that the people who have been supporting the Patreon, instead of just ending it, we're just going to finish out the term with them over there.
Yeah. We our upload schedule has sucked. The episodes we have put out, many of them have been kind of low energy and shit. So we want to squeeze out a quality one for the people paying while we're still doing this.
You know, if
yeah.
this is the last public episode of Cream Crew, what a way to go out. I feel like
It was
Sex
good.
and the City is a good end note.
What's extra funny is, what do you think the percentage of Cream Crew listeners is that have actually even ever watched Sex and the City?
I would
Probably a
hope
lot now.
extremely low.
Well, at this point, maybe a fair few.
I
Yeah,
would
that's
I'd
fair.
like to think that we've converted some viewers. I'm like, yeah, I put it on just thinking it's gonna be a meme, but yeah, I watched the whole thing and I liked it a lot. And that's what I hope we got out of it.
Yeah.
All right,
All
well,
right, guys.
okay.
See you on the Patreon.
This is you can't just. This is the momentous. This is
Is
the
it?
last public episode. All right, no, I guess not.
Yeah.
Okay, Hunter already
Got
stopped
it.
recording. Fuck you guys, I guess. See you never. It was a fun ride whilst it lasted.
I don't really believe it anyways. We'll be back someday. No promises. So this won't be the final public episode. It's just the final public episode for now. And God knows we've been super inconsistent and unreliable anyway. We will come back and do at least one more public episode in November as the show ends. And as I said before, the show is ending, but it's really a for now asterisk thing. Mostly because Hunter is fickle, and God knows in a couple years he's going to want to do it again. And maybe we will too. But life is just untenably busy right now, and we've really sucked about keeping up with this thing, and it hasn't been fair to you guys. So, as we were saying, we're gonna continue the show on Patreon so we can at least give the paying, supporting fans their due, since we just have not had time to record 2 episodes a week. And yeah, worst case, we will be back publicly on YouTube at least once more in November. And between now and then, there will be weekly Patreon episodes, so 6 more episodes. I checked, there's 54 episodes currently, so that'll finish us out with 60 Patreon episodes if you guys want to check those out. If you can't be asked, it's also totally cool, totally understand, show's ending and everything, but yeah, thank you guys seriously for sticking up with us this long, sticking through many lackluster episodes. Yeah, we just haven't been the show we want to be consistently, so we're going to do our best to make the remaining episodes as good as they can be with the time we have left. And yeah, seriously, just appreciate you guys. If we don't see you on Patreon, we'll see you in a couple months for that last one. Thank you for all the years of support and everything else. And yeah, either way, if not here, we'll see you soon on our own channels. Hunter's Papa Meat channel, the Tom and Don channel will be back soon. I know I've been promising that forever, but it will be back soon. And we'll see you on Flash Hits. Thank you guys again. See you soon.